Law Simplified with Justice, the new informative, educative, and thought-provoking program is what you need to keep abreast with law and politics. This exciting and truly refreshing program is anchored by Justice Maduforo, a solicitor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a soul-searching discussion here with my colleague. We've been dissecting sole responsibility under the immigration rule, those under 18 and those above 18 years of age as well.
Law Simplified with Justice understands that law is a powerful driver to human behavior. It is therefore poised to simplify the law and get you to take action.
Bring it to your doorstep and simplify it the way that you will understand.
Contact Justice by calling 07931 727 597 or email lawsimplifiedwithjustice@yahoo.co.uk. Law Simplified with Justice, bringing the best to the audience.
This is Justice, your regular host of this program, Law Simplified with Justice. It's a pleasure to welcome you, and as we discuss today, quite another interesting topic, which I'm sure viewers will be very pleased to listen to as we discuss this today. Over this series of this program, we have brought you only but the best, and the best in the sense that we put and simplify the law, and in the way that you get it on and you get on to work and to get it taught and to take the next step, or at least pass the information to the next person who needs this information. If you have someone who requires to listen to what we're discussing today, it might be good for you to call the person to come on air. Let's switch over to Sky Channel 596 as this program goes on. I want to start by saying that we are very grateful for most of you who have emailed us and requesting and demanding that we discuss this topic we're about to discuss today. The email was so overwhelming that the last session we were discussing point-based system under the immigration rules and the changes, and we also put it forward to discuss the part 2 of that program today. But as a result of the immense email you've sent to us with so many questions bordering on this topic we're going to discuss today, we decided with the producer of this program to keep on hold the part 2 of the point-based system, which we have initially arranged to discuss further today. Today we'll be discussing indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom under the immigration rules. I repeat again, the topic for discussion today is indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom under the immigration rules. Before we crack on with that topic today, I'm sure most of you will be very eager to know what we say, our opinion we give to this topic. And it is very important to also stress the fact that whatever we say here today, our opinions are strictly opinions. And we will always let you know this, that you should not act on them, but rather you have to seek proper legal advice before you act on what we discuss today. As I said, it is our opinion, and it's not going to be bound on you to accept it, but rather you must seek proper legal advice before you must take any actions. The reason being that most of the things we say, your circumstances may not fall into it, but because every circumstance are not the same, individual circumstances differ. As a result, they must be properly harnessed and discussed before you can give a tailor-made advice that suits you, and so that when you act on them, you act on them reliably. So, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting most of your time, I have a very, very interesting guest today to discuss this topic. He's a man well versed in the issues of immigration laws, and I did sought his attention to come on board to share some of those in-depth wisdom and understanding he has over the years in practicing immigration law in the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Sam Okeke-Ewo. Mr. Okeke-Ewo is a solicitor. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed, this is an opportunity for viewers, you out there, to ask questions. I'm well prepared and ready. Ask, and you shall find. And today, I am prepared. I understand that immigration law is very huge. There's a lot of implications if you fail to actually seek proper legal advice. As a practitioner, I have seen it firsthand. So, just like my colleague has said, what do you do when there is something bothering you? Don't try it at home. Try and seek advice from well-qualified legal practitioner, be it a solicitor, be it a qualified OSC immigration advisor, and you will never go wrong.
Thank you so much for that very lengthy introduction and supplement to the previous introduction to that. I will be leading this topic today, and questions will be also taken. Your recommendations and your recommendations or your views will also be shared on this program as we discuss indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom under the immigration laws. The telephone numbers will be displayed on your screen and the telephone will be opened for you to call us with your questions. And that will be after we've introduced this topic and then kind of dive more a little bit into it, and then we'll be ready to take your questions. And again, this is your platform to express your opinion and express your questions, and we're very glad to take them on. Indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom is always the second point where people will now proceed to the next step in their immigration status, in fulfilling the immigration requirement in the United Kingdom, of which they can go to the next stage. Now, Law Simplified with Justice want to simplify this area for you. At the time that if you want legal advice, the telephone numbers are on the screen. The email address, as usual, is on the screen. I am Justice Maduforo. Let me crack on now by asking my guest on the show today. Viewers who want to know, how can you put and define this word indefinite leave to remain? There's a definition to that. Your own opinion, what is the definition to indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom?
Well, it's just as it is. Indefinite. What is indefinite? It's just the same as it's a settlement. That is to say, permission given by the authorities, so-called UKBA. They're constantly changing their names. Previously it was called Home Office. It was called UK Border Agency. Now that is the short form, UKBA. That is to say, the permission which they give to aliens, which is to foreigners who has lived in this country and meet certain requirements, permission to live here permanently. That is to say, to settle, to enjoy the benefit, just as if they are citizens.
Right. You said something about to settle. There are still other areas where they can settle, apart from indefinite leave to remain. Must it be indefinite leave to remain before an individual can settle in the United Kingdom? Must he acquire that status of indefinite leave to remain before that individual can settle in the United Kingdom? Some other forms of application also be referred to as settlement. Is that correct?
Indeed, there are obviously various ways one can actually settle in the United Kingdom. You see, but that's the thing about immigration law. There's so many terminologies that if one is not careful, it can be misguided. That is to say, for instance, before coming to the question, they say leave to remain. What is leave to remain? That is permission to remain in UK. Indeed, I have had an opportunity to ask one of the top ministers, and then say, what are you using the word leave to remain? You leave to enter. Is that good English? I don't know. You judge for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite a little bit of terminology to say leave to enter, permission. It simply said permission rather than saying leave. But whatever the Parliament meant by using that word, at least we understand now that is permission to settle in the United Kingdom. But this topic, indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom, has been a point where certain people get to the point and having fulfilled other requirements or the preliminaries whereby they initially applied to come into the United Kingdom. Obviously, there are so many routes one can get to. There's so many routes to take in order to hit indefinite leave to remain application or eligibility. Now, who are those eligible for this, to make this application?
Well, there are many ways one can obviously become settled in UK or get leave to remain permanently in UK. What I called a 10-year rule, 2-year rule, 14-year rule. 10-year rule simply means if you have been in the UK here legally, continuously resident, and you can prove you have been in the UK legally for 10 years, then you can qualify for permanent or indefinite leave to remain. 2-year rule is for if you're married to a British citizen, for instance, and you're given 2 years probation period. After 2 years, then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. And then 14-year rule is assuming you came here as a visitor, you managed to either hide in a cupboard or hide under the house or under the bridge or whatever you hide yourself. Somehow you managed to stay in this country for 14 solid years, and you're able to prove to the authorities, continuously living in UK for 14 years, then you can qualify. One caveat, because as I was researching for this program, I come across the proposal by the UKBA when they're actually making it now. They're proposing to abolish that 14-year rule. So watch out.
It is a proposal at this point because obviously the Parliament constantly review the laws they've made, or rather the Home Office constantly review these laws and make a proposal to Parliament in a review to change it or to amend it or to repeal it. So we've seen quite a lot of them. We'll be discussing also in this show few changes to the way these applications are to be made these days. Quite new changes have come in.
Law Simplified with Justice, the new informative, educative, and thought-provoking program is what you need to keep abreast with law and politics. This exciting and truly refreshing program is anchored by Justice Maduforo, a solicitor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a soul-searching discussion here with my colleague. We've been dissecting sole responsibility under the individual rule, those under 18 and those above 18 years of age as well.
Law Simplified with Justice understands that law is a powerful driver to human behavior. It is therefore poised to simplify the law and get you to take action.
We'll bring it to your doorstep and simplify it the way that you will understand.
Contact Justice by calling 07931 727 597 or email lawsimplifiedwithjustice@yahoo.co.uk. Law Simplified with Justice, bringing the best to the audience.